Hello everyone, today we're installing the door and the window on our 8x8 modern lean-to shed. I'm gonna give you some tips as we do this to make sure that when you install the door and the window, you don't have any leaks or any future rot on your shed. And the first to be installed, it's the window. We have a 24 by 36 inch window going into our shed. But before we start anything, let's check that our framing is correct. And what we need to do is make sure that the seal plate is level, which means having some shims in hand just in case. So let's go ahead and grab some window flashing tape. But if you like me and install the green zip system wall panels, you probably have some flashing tape left over. This is perfectly fine to be used on windows and doors. Whenever I'm flashing a window, not only I'll flash the seal plate, but also about 4 to 6 inches going up the sides. And then I grab a utility knife and cut the corners so I can fold the tape over and flash everything around it. Now you're gonna take a small piece of flashing tape and cover those corners to make sure they're fully sealed. Some people will tell you to tape the corners first, then the center last. For me, I really don't think it matters because this is a very nice tape and it does a very nice job sealing regardless. And before we proceed, it's always a good idea to dry fit the window and make sure everything lines up and fits perfectly. Unfortunately, we all make mistakes and we are not perfect every time. And this time I found out I framed the window opening 2.5 inches larger than what it needs to be. And if you need to make any adjustments to the window opening, now is the time. And that's why we have build plans. They help you not make the same mistakes I did. If you want to check out the free build plans we have with the free material list, you can find it in the description. If you're watching this on your TV, there's a QR code for you right here. And let's go ahead and take the window down so we can correct this framing. And because my window opening is too big, I'm gonna fill it in with 2 pieces of 1/2 inch sheeting and one 2x4. This should give me a total of 2.5 inches of material. And I'm installing this on the bottom side because I want to favor that the window and the door are at the same height. If you make any adjustments to the window, make sure to check if you need to fix the flashing. In my case, I decided to reflash the whole window over again. And on top of that, I added a piece of flashing right in front to cover the new piece of sheeting that I've installed. And then we can check that it fits, and if it does fit, we can now move on to adding silicone onto the wall. We're gonna need to run a continuous thick bead of silicone on the sides and on the top of the window. And to secure the window to the wall, we're using galvanized nails. First, we're gonna use 1 or 2 nails just to hold the window in place so we can check the window for level. And if you see that the window is out of level, just go on the inside and add shims as necessary. And if you're happy how the window turned out and that it's leveled, go ahead and start securing the window to the wall. You want to make sure to drive a nail on every slot of the flange around the whole window. Then I install flashing tape on both sides of the window, covering all the nails and the flange and the top. And on the inside, we're going to remove the shims and try out the window. You want to make sure that it slides open and close freely. And this should complete the window install. Now it's time to move on to installing the door. And if you haven't yet, this is the time you need to cut the bottom plate off. And just like the window, you want to add flashing tape to the bottom of the door opening. Then you have to prep the door for a dry fit. You're gonna need to remove the plastics footers that's on the bottom of the door, and also on the handles you're gonna find a black piece of plastic that needs to be removed. And the same way as you did for the window, you place the door inside the door opening, make sure that it fits nicely. Especially how heavy the door is, you want to make sure that it goes in with no trouble. Then you pull the door out, and now you want to add 2 lines of construction adhesive on the bottom. And quickly you get on a ladder and you add a single line of silicone around the door. You want to try to be quick here because if you think the construction adhesive is drying up while you're setting the silicone in place. We now bring back the door and set it in place one last time. I use trim nails on the door trim to hold the door in place. A brand new door will come with a set of 4 screws. 3 screws are to be used on the hinges. You notice that each hinge is missing 1 screw. This is where you drive these 2.5-inch long screws. And the 4th screw is to be used on the side where the doorknob is. Typically, you want to drive a screw right behind the weather seal. The nice thing about installing a new door on a new shed is that everything is squared and should fit nicely. And once you're done driving the screws, go ahead on the outside and drive a few more nails on the trims. Now this door goes very nice with this shed. And if you're thinking of getting a shed but you don't have the time, the tools to get started, you can still get a high quality shed delivered to you. Check out the description below or the QR code right here, and we're gonna connect you with the best shed manufacturers in the country so you can get a high quality shed at the right price. And that's how I install the door, the window on the shed. And let me know down in the comments if there's anything different you would have done. And if you want to check out how I installed the siding on this front wall, there's a video for you right here. Or if you want to watch the whole thing from beginning to end, there's a video for you right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.